I got my place. Which one was yours?
I didn't open it yet.
I didn't either. One of them I shook. I took the one that I accidentally shook.
Well, it'll be fine. We'll take that risk.
Do it nice and slow.
Actually, I don't think I changed the mic settings. That's my bad. I did change the. I already did that.
Oh, you did?
I did it. Yeah, before you got here.
Look at you devil.
And then all I'm gonna do
The mouse. Don't touch the mouse.
is that. Just make it to where we're loud.
Oh, okay.
So, whoop, there we go. We're professionals.
Yeah, always.
Perfect. As all things should be.
Okay. And we're live everywhere.
Yes.
It's late.
Just
a tad later than normal.
and only, when we usually end.
Yeah, that's my fault. I'm sitting there and you text me. I was going to text you this morning, but I forgot I was going to be like, hey, no podcast night. And then I was like, I'm not going to worry about it. If he texts me, I'll just go. And so let that roll. And then you text me. You're like, hey, let's do the topic tonight. I was like, sweet. I go, hey, he's got a topic. Let's do it. And then from that moment on, I just did all my work. And then at the end of the day, Shani's like, I really want sushi. I was like, oh, well, we can get sushi tomorrow night. She goes, or we could get it tonight and you could just podcast tomorrow, or you could podcast after we're done. And I was like, I don't think so. But, I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
And then she's like, we could also just go to Akira's, knock out 2 birds with 1 stone there. And I was like, because I didn't really want sushi. I wanted something more filling.
Yes.
And not that sushi's not filling, it's not filling enough.
I can't have sushi, so it's I don't know.
A whole plate of rice that is like, you get like a pound of rice. It's wonderful.
Nice.
And then veggies,
carbs,
and shrimp, and I had steak, which was wonderful.
I had steak today too.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I had hot mustard with mine, which is like burn your nostril stuff.
I had steak sauce with mine.
So good. Yeah, it was a good day.
It was a good day.
And so for that, I'm late coming here.
So good.
I was hoping to be here at 8:30, but when you eat out, sometimes you just have to go potty.
Go out afterwards.
You got to go before you go.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
So I was like, either I do it here at my house on my toilet,
The comfortable toilet.
or I go and do it at Shay's house, and he's not gonna appreciate that.
It cramped in there.
Well, it's not so much that it's not cramped for me. I'm a small guy.
It cramped in there.
But the smell. It's like when you're on a what do you call it, the bus.
Yeah.
When you're driving a bus and they have the toilets, nobody does number 2 on the toilet.
No.
You don't do that on a bus.
But you really have to.
It's for number 1s. Like if you're going number 2 on a toilet, it's because you literally did not make the rest stop, and it was like in the pants or in there.
Yep. It's the emergency toilet.
It's the rule. That's the rule.
That's how it be.
So, anyways, that was what happened. That's why we're so much later than we normally are.
Yep.
And yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome.
I was also debating on changing the background. I like having our background right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that sounds like it. Oh.
It's good. Definitely not this one. It was definitely that one.
Going as slow as possible here.
Maybe I didn't shake it as much as I thought I did.
Ooh, look at that.
That was a good one.
Not even a...
Yeah.
That one, my luck, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's other people, too, aren't there?
Yeah. It's okay. We were just letting people funnel in before we started the actual content.
Yeah.
Just
took the art. It's the one we did last time. It's
okay.
And I'm guessing, just to get this out of the way now, you most likely don't have the USB, do you?
No. I have more episodes still.
Yeah.
I'm going to come get it on next Monday.
Okay.
Because everything will be back to normal.
Yes.
We should hope. So, shall we get started?
I think we're ready.
Welcome to Two Dudes to Do. I'm Josh.
And I am Shay.
That was like a little Two Dudes Before Dudes moment.
You were really excited there. You got in there.
Yeah,
You took the initiative. You got a straight 20.
Ooh. That's high.
That's
By
high.
the way, thinking of that, I've been looking at dice towers for some reason. Oh, I saw it on a TikTok. The guy's like, check this dice tower out. And he dropped all the dice in and they came out the bottom. I was like, that's cool. I like dice towers. We don't even play D&D, but I want a dice tower.
Dice towers are cool.
They are cool.
Yeah.
They had this really nice one that was like plexiglass or glass or plastic. You could see all the funnel. Oh, it was very cool. And then they had one that was staircase.
That's just showing off at that point.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, the staircase is cool.
That's like basically, I was talking to the guy that helps run this the store I get my drinks at, because I go there every day. I'm known there.
Hi, Shay.
Hey, no, that's what he says. He's like, and I was like, all right, see you later, man. I'm like, hey, all right. Or usually after 3:00 he'll say, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because some it depends. Sometimes Shanny wants a shrimp cocktail, and I go back and they're like, you're here later than usual. Other person wants food. Yep.
It's like, how did you know?
How'd you guess? But I was talking about how I play. That is cool. Right. That is cool. And I had actually almost the exact same conversation with my new mattress guy. It was I was saying that I play games. That's why I play games. Like, oh, what do you play on? My mattress guy got really interested on this. He's like, what do you play?
It's like all.
So I could tell from the moment he said that. I'm like, oh, he's a gamer.
Yeah. This is more than just a normal interested.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I play on PC. He's like, oh, so you're a PC guy? I'm like, most like, yeah, I do have a PS4, but I only play that for their exclusives. And he's like, oh, okay. At that moment, I found out he was an Xbox person, so
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, okay.
It's not that we don't like Xbox people. We just have nothing in common.
Nothing in common. But I was like, so what do you play on PC? I'm like, I play pretty much mostly everything, but right now I'm really big into the MOBA genre again. He's like, I've been playing them for a long time, and I'm just kind of coming back. And he's like, oh, so you're into League? I'm like, I have a rough take with League. And we started talking about League and how he always wanted to try it. I'm like, hey, it's coming to consoles and mobile.
Yep.
Coming probably sometime next year. I don't know exactly when.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But it's in the ways. He's like, oh, that's cool. Well, whenever it comes out, I'll ask you for your name. And I'm like, yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm on Twitch.
I was tempted.
Shameless plug.
I was halfway tempted. I can't remember. Oh, I was playing Monster Hunter, and I was streaming it, and Connor's like, oh, dude, you're playing Monster Hunter for the first time? I gotta see how bad you are. How can I watch you? I'm like, oh, well, it's so easy, my friend. You can see me at twitch.tv/teledocs for all your streaming needs. He's like, oh my gosh. I walked into it again.
Yes, you did.
I've hit Connor with it like 8 times, and it's beautiful. Every time I do it, I get excited. I never like to do that like with actual people I don't know, but with my friends that know I stream, I'm like, whoo, boy!
Oh, look where you stepped in. That's my trap. Yeah.
You've triggered my trap card. Oh, man.
It's such good times.
Oh, it's so good. Because at this point now, I've always deemed it as a joke, so when I get to do it, it makes me really excited.
Yeah. Here's the main problem, though, with this subject that we're talking about tonight.
Yes.
We're talking about Riot games, their future, their past, whatever. Basically, in talking about Riot games, we're talking about League of Legends.
Yes, because that's pretty much all they have.
They have 6 games total. Like, well, TFT's technically League of Legends, but it's separate. There's League, TFT, they have the one coming to console, which is League, but separate. And then they have the card game coming out, which is League, but it's separate.
It's got the League.
And then they got Project A coming out, which is gonna be different. I think they're still gonna pull.
I don't know. I really don't. I'm hoping they do, but I don't know.
From the little bit of gameplay I saw, they're showing abilities that are League-esque.
I mean, it's
their game.
It's their game. It's their lore. They can use the lore whatever they want.
Yeah. So let's say that one, and then they've got one more game.
A fighting game based on League characters.
So they're gonna have 6 League games. So they have 1 game, but 6.
6 side games.
Yes.
And this is the fun part, because Riot at this point, they're known for League. They've only technically made 1 other game at the moment, and that's been released.
Honestly, if that's the only thing you're known for, not a bad thing to be known for.
No, just the most massively online game out there at the moment.
We'll get into it.
I can get into some stats right now.
We'll get into the stats. We're gonna get there.
But they got 2 games at the moment. They got League, and they have
League of Legends.
League of Legends, and they got Blitzcrank Poro Roundup, which was an April Fool's game. And it was League based. So it's League.
Yeah. So always the problem though when you talk about a subject like this is you instantly, after you get done talking about it, you're like, I want to go play that thing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I played earlier. I got put on a crap team again. They don't know what they're doing because of my rank.
Were you playing threes?
Yeah.
It's bots. I'm telling you that. It's every time. I just played 4.
No. No, the reason I know it's not bots is because of the way they play. The actual playing is not bot play. Like, you can kind of tell when it's a bot. They'll go in, and then they'll start running away, and then they'll go in, and they'll start running away. They have a very AI kind of feel to them. This was not that.
I just played 4 games in a row, and only...
Your level, yes.
Well, the funny thing is, it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't be, because after that, they stopped, because level 30 is when you can start playing ranked.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be bots playing still.
There shouldn't, but...
There is.
Because of how high your league is, nobody plays that as much.
No.
I mean, again, like I said I was playing Twisted Tree Line, and Nick was like, that's still a thing?
It's true. Twisted Tree Line is a thrown away project.
Yeah. At my level, it works. It still draws in characters that are brand new to the game. But most of the people are on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah. Summoner's Rift is League.
It's a 5v5. So, I mean, I don't blame them. But, again, we're going to get to stories, but I played it on Twisted, and it was... Because they disconnected a couple times.
Well, bots do that, too. I had that happen to bots.
Yeah. The way he was playing didn't feel like a bot. He just felt like an idiot.
I will say, the fun part... me and Webby were talking about this last night when I tried to fix his PC. Emphasis on the word try. It's something else. I had it all hooked up right. I quadruple checked my wiring. It would not turn on. There was no power going into the motherboard. And there was 2 things. Either, for one, his old motherboard I kind of wanted to try to reuse. I took his old CPU off. There was cooling gel that you have to put in your CPU in the ports. And on the actual nodes on the CPU. So automatically, those things are probably much fried. Yeah, so we tried to use mine. Because I saw them, Webby, I can't use that. I'm like, I might can, but you got to clean this.
I might can.
I don't know. You'd have to clean it. You got to take it off there, and that's dangerous, and I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you could just completely just.
I'm like, I didn't do this. This is how I saw it. I'm not doing it. He's like, all right, fair enough. I don't have the tools to do it anyways.
Yeah.
So we hooked up my old motherboard. No power. It was so weird. I don't know why. He took all my old parts. I'm like, hey, maybe you can take it to someone else. Have someone else look at it. I'm not a professional.
Yeah, if you have the parts, it's going to be cheaper.
Exactly. So he took all my parts except for my old graphics card because he has a better one. Yeah. But we're saying that you've been playing a lot of threes, and he's like, that's not a bad idea. That really gets to learn the basis of League. Mm-hmm. You don't get to learn about laning per se because after a certain
there's only 2 lanes.
There's only 2 lanes. Yeah. There's no laning meta in League. I mean, in 3v3 League. Yeah. So it's enough to where you can get familiar with the characters, which sadly they almost all play ADCs because they're all free.
Well, the reason that I think it helps me playing with the characters I'm starting to work on.
That's what we were saying.
That's what you're saying.
You get to learn more movement options and stuff.
How your character reacts to things.
And pretty much at a certain point, you'll evolve. You'll graduate to 5v5s, and that's when we'll start teaching you how to lane.
Yeah, I went to 5v5 on my own the other day when I was waiting for you guys, and I did top lane with I was playing Ashe. It was me and one other person. Yeah, I know. No, I know you don't go top lane with Ashe. Yeah. I know that. But I was like, I'm playing Ashe. Everyone else was like bottom, mid, jungle.
You gotta call it fast.
I was like, I guess I'm going top lane. That's fine. And me and this other guy, I don't remember who the other guy was, what character it was. We went to top lane, and honestly, we did really well together. We were working together very well, and there was 2 guys that were coming and fighting us.
Yep.
And we pushed the top lane pretty good, and then the middle was Vigar and their guy was Vigar. And then the top lane was the person that can shift into people, can be other characters.
Oh, Nico.
Like, tentacle lady. Japan. So yeah, Nico, and then another close quarter combat character. So I had the range on him. I was like, I'm good here. We did push it pretty good, but middle lane lost it. And then the jungler on their side was doing very good. Yeah. They took the whole bottom lane pretty much with no problems. So I was like, it is what it is. I did pretty good. I didn't get as many kills as I'd like. I think I had 3. And, of course, once they started going bottom, I was trying to stop them, and I died a lot because of that. But it was all right.
But Well, I don't know. I'm gonna transition this. We're just kind of
Well,
talking about League.
what I was saying is the hard part about doing this is you want to play the game.
You do.
So badly afterwards. So we'll probably end up playing afterwards anyways. But
Yep.
It's important to know where the game came from. It's kind of the history of how it started. And it started with two guys.
And I'm gonna say it right now. Me and Josh both watched their documentary they just put on Netflix, which is kind of why I kind of wanted to do it today because I was watching it at work. I'm like, oh man, it's so interesting at the start that I didn't know. And I mean, guys, you gotta watch that documentary. It's on Netflix. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really takes you to a whole new place that you didn't know before.
It takes you behind the scenes, what the devs were thinking and the creators, what they were doing at that time, and it really shows what they were going for. But at the beginning, that they had
Brandon Beck and Mark Merrill.
Yes,
that's what I wanted.
Those two guys are the founders of League of Legends. They met each other in college.
Yeah, one of them was the high school like football guy. Yeah. You know, he had to do all the sports, and he playing video games like this was a way for him to escape from all that stuff. But he didn't have the time, so that's how he started in this gaming industry. And then the other guy, his parents were completely against gaming. Yeah. They did not want to play video games. They never bought him anything. He won his first console from a
first grade raffle.
Yeah, first grade raffle.
It was the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it was just something small. And
great console to start with.
He said that it was fate. There was nothing that they could do. He won it. That was just him starting it. And they kind of worked towards each other eventually.
Yep.
And in college they met and they kind of had this bond of enjoying online gaming. They were playing Dota.
You play games? I play games.
Yeah. World of Warcraft, Dota. I can't remember the other game that they were playing.
StarCraft.
I don't think it was StarCraft.
Yeah,
was it?
I think it was.
I don't know. All I know for sure is they were mostly playing World of Warcraft at the time, and Dota was the main thing that they were playing.
Which is a Warcraft 3 mod.
Yeah, it was a model that they came with the game. We've already talked about it. But they really liked the customability, the play style of it. That idea of taking the main theme of the game and using it for a different facet.
Yep.
So they said, we really like this, and they got together and said, how can we see the future of online gaming? Because really online gaming, and this is in early 2000s.
I would say probably 2006.
I can't remember.
They didn't say a year in the documentary.
They didn't say when they met or when they had. They just said when the gaming itself became a thing. So it's somewhere in the early 2000s.
Because I know the game came out in 2009.
Yeah.
So I would assume it's probably 2 to 3 years before this.
Yeah, they said they took about 3 years of development time.
Yes.
So actually, to be realistic, it probably
2005.
They probably started hanging out with each other in 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And then started talking about it in 2005, probably late 2005.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was one of those situations where they got together and said, where is the online gaming for PCs going?
Yeah.
How is this kind of working out? And you start looking at places like Korea, which is some people would say the Mecca.
It's the gaming hub.
That's where everything kind of starts.
It's a gamer's dreamland right there.
Yeah. That's what places where like airliners have
StarCraft characters on them.
Characters from online games on
them. It's in the norm.
It's normal, yeah. Like that's expected. So they were kind of looking at what they were doing and kind of where it was going, and they figured out that this MOBA genre was going to be a big success. But how they could be a part of it was the question. And if you ever get a chance to watch some of the early League of Legends, which wasn't called League of Legends, it was called
it was something weird.
Yeah, it was.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I was working as I watched it, so
so was I.
I was kind of like, woof.
I was listening as best I could while driving or sitting. Yep. But the early was janky.
Basically, the what they called the interns or
the creators and the developers themselves were all brand new.
Brand new.
Creators never marketed a game before, never released a game.
And only a few that did, but they weren't big.
Yeah, they never hit big.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the staff was just guys like us.
Yeah.
Who just knew how to program and stuff.
Which we don't.
We don't know how to program, but they knew how to program and they said, okay, we need guys like that.
Yeah.
And they had like months before their first like showing for a buyer or a backer.
Yep.
And so they're like, we got to get something together. And so and honestly, I mean, when you look at the map itself, it wasn't too bad for the era.
For the first map generally being made in general, it wasn't.
They did what big name AAA companies were doing in years, they did in months.
Yeah. So the developers, or not the developers, the investors and stuff of that company looked like, you know what? I don't know about this game exactly, but this
Ingenuity,
company has a future.
Yeah, strength and desire, I would say.
Yes.
A lot of the backers, they're like, okay, so they're doing more than anybody else is doing. They're doing it with a limited budget, and they're doing it without the biggest names in the industry.
Yes.
We got to get with this somehow. So they got some backers, and kind of the funny thing is, for 3 years, they worked on this game and made zero profit.
$0.
And that's making the developing of the game, bringing it more into the graphics that you're seeing now, banging out all these characters, bringing out just a story behind it and all that, getting it all molded and everything into where they can start going to gaming cons and letting them play the game. People that really play
just
games.
showing it.
Yeah, like this is what probably the first one they ever went to. It was probably just, this is what the game looks like. Here's a demo of it.
Yep.
It was probably 5-minute match.
Maybe a game, just a video gameplay.
Yeah, just here's what we do. This is what the game looks like. That would be like the first one.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea was, how do we get this game up off the ground to make it into Dota status? Yeah, Dota status. You have to, with the gaming industry at the time, it was very small. The what they called the hardcore gamers was not a huge name yet.
No.
Especially not in North America, where they came out of.
Yeah.
We were pretty tight. We were still small. PCs were still developing strong game communities. So, I mean, it was a hard sell.
It was a rough time for that time, in that time frame.
Yeah.
There it is, the word.
And so they said, we got to get into the areas where these people who are going to push this game are going to be at. Again, 2009, Steam's running, but they didn't want to be
running.
Yeah, they don't want to be on Steam. They're their own company. They want to kind of come out themselves. So they got to go to the places where people are going to play games so they can get their name out. Just getting their name out was going to be hard enough.
Yep.
They had no money for marketing, really.
Nothing.
Yeah, the best they had was they were going to make posters and stuff for when they were there.
Yeah, that and at a certain time you could pre-order League, and some people did.
Yeah, every month they're in the red. That's what they're looking at right now. Servers, they're probably piggybacking off of a lot of them.
At this point, I don't even know if they had them all the way yet.
Yeah, so I mean, it was one of those things early 2000, 2009, 2010, 2011. There's a lot of development happening. They're going to gaming cons, letting guys get a hold of the game, play it. What'd you like? What didn't you like? How can we make it better? That's what's going on in the first 3 years.
And then
the biggest news, the bomb drop.
The genius idea. Guys, we're not making any money. No one's buying this. What do we do? Make it free.
Yeah. There's a point in time when you're backing a game and you're like, okay, I've sunk a lot of money into you guys. I need to start seeing some revenues. And then they look at you and go, yeah, we're going to make this game free.
And at first, this was such a ballsy move that they pulled here. But at the time, it's genius. At this moment in America, there is really only one other free-to-play game out there.
Oh, you got to understand too that this time in America, free to play games are not a thing.
There's
one other game, and
Maple Story.
And the idea behind it was it's Yankee, it's sketchy.
Yep.
You're gonna get into the game, you're gonna start playing a little bit, and then it's gonna be like paywall. Because that's kind of how it's been. Demos, things of that nature. Yep. Those were the free games. They used to give out discs of games that you could play for free.
So good.
You only got so much content. And they said, no, that's not what's going on here. We're literally giving you the whole game.
Yes.
The only stipulation they put on it was the revolving character wheel.
Yeah.
And it was like, so you got to understand it from like the money standpoint. They're like, well, how are we making money? And that's when they came out with the brilliant idea. Don't worry. If they want to play a certain character, after a couple weeks, it's gone. They're going to have to buy it.
Yep.
And the first thing they kind of tossed around was the idea of making characters with different abilities that you could buy. And they asked a couple of the guys, like, what do you think?
And then the main guy's like, I don't like that. I love the idea of a Frost Annie, as he said.
Yeah.
But I don't like us doing that. That's.
Well, they're like, so what don't you like about it? Do you not like the ability of it, or do you not like the idea that you pay for it?
It just doesn't feel right.
He said, I just don't like the way it feels. I don't like the idea of someone being able to pay and be better, which is our sentiment too.
Yes.
So I get where he's coming from.
As we said, Riot is made by gamers at the start.
Yeah, they were two gamers. They enjoyed basically it would be like me and him getting together and be like, let's do a whole new style of game.
Yeah.
And came out with something. We're not going to put that paywall like that.
No.
We just don't like it.
There's no reason to have it.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, but this is where the genius idea comes in. They're just like, well, I still want that Frost Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmetic.
Yeah, all skins.
Bam. There it is.
And, honestly, they said when you looked at your character, the player base, they didn't mind paying $5 or $10 to get those skins that they really, really wanted because they enjoyed the game that much. They wanted to help the developers.
I hate to say it, but it is so freaking true.
I mean,
I'm not happy with how much money I've spent on League of Legends.
You're nothing. You're nothing.
I know. There's more out there that have done more. William, Webby, Connor, Colton.
I won't lie. There was one skin I was looking at for Varus. I just got him. I got the points that I earned. I just bought him. And I saw one of the skins. I was like, ooh, that's a really nice skin. Clicked in. I was like, $5.
Which one is it?
It was he looked like a knight.
Oh, it's the D&D skins.
Yeah.
I have the D&D support version of that.
Oh. It's very nice looking. I was like, oh.
And that's how they made the I spent about $800 on League. Not happy about it, but it's happened. Do we want to hear how much everyone else spent on it?
No, again, you're like, I didn't spend nearly as much as the others. They can figure it out themselves.
Here, I can tell you for a fact, there's only one person below me. Nick.
Yeah, I was about to say it was going to be Nick, right?
Yep, Nick.
Nick seems like the sensible one of the group.
At a whopping, I think, $300.
Well, I mean, if you count me.
You don't count. We almost didn't want to count Wills until we passed up Webby.
Yeah.
Because we're like, well, Wills hasn't really been playing as long as we have. And Will's like, oh, military money.
What's that? I got a signing bonus, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Time to spend my bonus on the League of Legends.
So they said, there's another way to make money. We'll do it that way. And then, of course, came the challenge of how do we become even bigger than just... Because at this time, this is like 2012. They've kind of introduced this idea of being able to buy skins and stuff.
Yep.
Or being able to get a character. They haven't got a store out yet, but they're sitting there going, how can we start becoming big? Because they're looking at names like StarCraft.
Yeah.
Who is huge in Korea. They're selling out stadiums to watch this.
And at this time...
Their first little tournament was not good.
It was adorable. Mind you, as I say this, League of Legends at this time was NA exclusive.
Yeah.
They hadn't gone to EU yet, which EU has stories to tell. They hadn't gone...
North America, Europe.
Yes. North America. They haven't gone to Europe yet. They haven't gone to Korea.
China,
Japan. They haven't done it.
They haven't
North
brought
American
it yet.
exclusive because they can't.
Yeah. There's still a small base. They're looking at word of mouth being the only way they're getting new players.
Yep.
Guys saying, I played this, you should play this. And again, when you first downloaded this game, this isn't high-speed internet now, America. This is high speed back in the day. It's still taking 4 hours to download this game just so you can play.
Oh, poor souls.
I'm saying that's on the good internet. So you're sitting with your buddy going, dude, you gotta download this game and play it. All right, I'll download it. It's free, right? Yeah, it's free. What in 5 hours? That's if you don't touch your computer.
This is the exact conversation I had with Colton when he's like, you gotta try League of Legends, dude. You gotta play it with me and Zach. I'm like, all right. And it took me I think it took me 2.5 hours in 2012. Maybe 2 hours.
That was when you had really good internet over there too.
Nah, not really good. It was 2012 times. 2012.
Still better than what you got right now.
Oh yes, it is. Yes. It took me about
because here now it's like a day and a half.
Well, maybe it only took me 30 to 45. I can't remember. And then I remember I launched into my first game. We were playing Twisted Tree Line, the old Twisted Tree Line. There was a different one.
Yeah, I remember. It was actually twisted.
Yeah, it was. It was so cool. I missed that map. But I launched my first game, and at this point, pretty much, I'm not addicted anymore, thank the Lord. But until 2015, I was addicted to League of Legends.
Yeah, there was many a night when I'd text or call and be like, hey, what are you doing?
Playing League.
No, I'm just chilling here. You want to play some zombies with me, or some multiplayer? Well, I'm kind of
in a match of League.
In the start of a match of League. When I get done, I'll play with you. Oh, okay, cool. 4 hours later, are you still on? I mean, I'm going to bed now. Oh, I just got done playing League.
Yep. Yep.
That was a fast night for him.
I mean, at this point, okay, this is Shay when he was still in school.
A lot of time.
A lot of time on my hands. All that time was in League of Legends. Summer was bad, but I think on school nights, I would get home around 4 o'clock, eat food, if I had homework, and play League from 5 till 7, ate dinner, and played League from 8 till midnight.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6 hours a day on League. Basically a side job at that point. And I don't regret it. I really don't. Like, if you ask Colton if he regretted ever playing League, he'll say yes. I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Your priorities change as you get older, and his is getting away from that idea.
Yeah, but
that's my just guess.
He said he wished he never played League of Legends, and he said that multiple times. And we came out with a, you never wish you played League. He's like, no, I don't. I wasted so much time. I'm like, you say waste, but how much time did we have fun playing the game? He's like, well, I guess you're right. I'm like,
it's not wasted time if you're having a good time.
I'm like, it was like, think how many times we've laughed at League, and how many times like, yeah. It's one of those thoughts like, yeah, thinking in the adult mind frame now, was it a waste of time?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I am a firm believer if you are enjoying the time you're spending, and it would have been time wasted anyways in something else, it's not a waste of time.
I don't think it's a waste of time. I enjoy League. Have I got my $900 worth? Yes.
Well, yeah.
I've played hours.
I thought you said 800.
800, 900, what's the difference at this point?
At that point, it's probably not much different.
So like, what's the difference at this point?
Yeah. No, I mean, shoot, if you're enjoying what you're doing, it's not time wasted.
No.
And again, it is actually a free game.
It
So
is.
it's not like you're wasting money.
No. I was charitably donating it.
You chose, and honestly, that's how they make their money. That's how the game stays up.
Yeah.
So, technically, charitable donation.
Charitable donation, but
I think we can write that off on taxes. It's like, where are my receipts?
Webby's like,
anyways, so yeah, I mean, again, if it's enjoyed time, if it's time well spent, it's not wasted.
It's not a waste of time.
Now, the first tournament that they put on might have been a waste of time, maybe slightly. It was full of mistakes, and again, you kind of have to expect that because they've never done this thing. Esports was really a brand new concept.
They literally just grabbed players, generally 19 and 20-year-olds.
Hey,
sometimes
you want to be a part of a tournament?
That's what they did.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, they had a tournament within, I think they said 3 days or 3 hours. I can't remember.
It was the first tournament they did was a 3-day tournament with, like, back to back. They did, like, 14 games in a day kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's, like, playing with random people, putting random people together. It wasn't even like, hey, you got a team. It was, hey, you can play with those 4 other guys.
Yep.
We'll throw you in a lobby, and we'll see
and
how you do.
Make a name.
Yeah. Whatever your name is, we'll track your progress, and we'll give the winner the best name.
Yeah.
Whoever has the best track on their name gets the win. It was, and then the announcing was, they tried to have, like, announcers. Like, they did try, because they kind of seen what other people were doing. They looked at Korea.
They looked at Korea, and they also looked at sports at the time.
Yeah. And they said, we got an idea. So they put 2 announcers on the thing, but they kept on having these moments of, like, the guy, at one point in time they showed in the documentary, the guy was like, are you live? Yes, we're live right now. Are you live? Stop asking me if I'm live.
Yeah.
I just told you I'm live.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Good golly. I was
Freak.
like, guys.
But the guy's name is Freak.
Yeah. It's like, guys, just get on to it, man.
Now, Freak is a League of Legends meme.
Yeah.
It's Freak.
So
he's the pun guy.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
With the first one being down in the bag, they still got a lot of
publicity.
Champion. Any press is good press at some point.
It was, and also the winners won $100,000
on the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that much. I thought it was $50,000.
$100,000. Now it's split between 5 people.
Well, they gave a guy a check for $50,000. They said, "How are you going to play your money or use your money?" Oh, that might have been season 2, because he was like, "I'm going to take all my buddies to a party." I'm pretty sure the first year was $50,000 for the team.
I remember hearing $100,000.
I don't know exactly.
I remember what scene you're talking about.
I did see a check and it said $50,000 on it.
I don't know.
I know that for sure because that was one of the main parts I watched. I was like, "Oh, dang, $50,000 on the first one."
Well,
it doesn't matter the point process. It was they did give out money. quite impressive.
A good sum of money too.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing small. I mean, even if it's 5 guys splitting $50,000 apiece,
that's
10 grand.
10 grand
for playing a video game for 3 days.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
I'll take those odds.
I would take that any day.
But
there's like 10 grand worth of dollar bills in this house right now. Anyways, so that was the first one. So I mean, yeah, I say it was kind of a waste of time, but really, it gave them the publicity. It showed that they're a big deal, and it also put in their mind, we need to do better next time. Season 2.
Oh boy.
Riot Games, they really had some major problems, but they had a lot of good things come from their downfalls.
At this point in Season 2, I think the Europe was added into the mix.
The problem with Europe is they did not make a Riot Games Europe. They went through a subsidiary partner.
Oh boy.
People that said, we're going to take care of you guys over here, you just tell us what to do.
Yeah. And at this point, it's a known meme. If you look up EU West servers, people just put PC parts in a potato and called them a server. It was beautiful timing. It was a beautiful time in League of Legends history. The servers were bad. They would shut down constantly. And at a certain point, they called Riot, like, hey, we had to shut these servers down for the rest of the week. They'll open on Monday.
Well, it was the server blew at 11:58.
Yeah.
On a Friday.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can't call anybody to go and reset the server. Nobody's at work.
Yeah.
And so it was like, what do we do? There's nothing. And so people were like literally hitting up Riot Games on the forums. And the forum was a huge thing for them because that was how they stayed connected with their player base.
Yes.
And the forum was full of angry people.
As you expect.
Of course. I mean, you want to play your game and now it's not good. And the best they could do was, we'll get to you guys on Monday. Like, here in America, if that was going on, every 15 minutes there'd be an update like, hey, we're working on it. Hey, this server went down. Hey, we've got this server back up. Hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. Every 15 minutes. Yeah. They couldn't do that for there because this other company didn't care.
It's not their job. It's not their problem.
5 o'clock. I'm out.
Exactly. It's not their problem.
And so they realized really quickly that the fan base and the player base that they were doing were not just players. They were people. Yeah. They stressed a lot that these people, they're not just players. They're not just some name on a screen. They're people that care about the game and deserve more respect than what these people were giving them. So they scrapped it.
And they made a huge journey to get it back.
Yeah, so what they did was they made Riot EU. But the problem was when they decided to do that, they had, 58 days?
58 days, yeah.
From the moment they shook hands for the other guys saying, okay, we're about to hand it over, 58 days from that moment to set up the servers, set up the gaming system, set up a building, set up workers, set up...
everything. Set up everything.
Yeah. Everything, basically, that they did in Los Angeles to start the game, they had to do over there.
So they had to transport all the parts that they had there to EU.
And wouldn't you know it?
At this point in time, Fate tried to nudge them a little bit.
Honestly, how great would it have been if they added a volcano to the map?
That would have been funny. I don't remember what volcano it was exactly.
No, it was Greenland, and it came straight down through the EU.
And at that time, any plane to the EU, gone. There was no plane to EU.
There was too much soot and ash. They couldn't get the jets to fire up.
So they had to take this crazy journey. They had to fly like 9 different flights.
LA to New York down into
South America,
South America over to like the tip of South Africa, Africa into Iraq over to Germany, and then Germany drove in kind of situation.
Yes.
And that was just to get the parts there so he could literally start to do the data switch.
And the funniest thing, the guy's like, I was just on the road driving with servers in my backseat.
Yeah. He's like, what else do I do? I had to get him there.
So he's just got these servers in the backseat.
2 days before he's leaving, boom, fire.
Yeah, so at this point now, they get it all set up. And like, okay, EU, we're ready. And at this point, the forums are going crazy. Thank you. And this is where the term came in.
Well, they shut down for one day, and the next day they were up and running. Full new setup.
And this is where the term "thank you, Raito" comes into play. Raito is the troll name of League. And interesting little fact, every time they do an April Fool's video, their name is Raito.
Huh.
They change the animation they have for their logo to change the letters from Riot to Raito.
I didn't know that.
It's the
I didn't
most.
catch that.
It's a beautiful thing.
So they launched the EU, Riot EU. Everything goes smooth, surprisingly smooth after that.
Yeah.
Everything's going better. EU starting to get a bigger player base. In fact, in, what was it, like less than a year, they had not only surpassed America's growth.
Within 9 months.
Yeah, within 9 months. They passed America's growth, and they were up by like 9%.
Yep.
Like, they were hitting a big player base, and they didn't quite expect it.
They were expecting, like, hey, we're going to get people, but not to that degree.
Yeah, Europe really fell in love with League of Legends very quickly.
Yes.
And I can see that.
It's a great game.
Well, and plus, you know, the cosplayability and everything over there, the way that they are naturally, it's not like America over on the east, you know, eastern boards. America, we have this stigma about gamers.
We really do.
And it's like, people just don't understand. They think that all you're doing is sitting in a room all day, secluding yourself. And they kind of talked about this in the documentary.
They were talking about all the professional old players that used to play before.
Yeah. And they're like, you know, it's not about that. It was literally about people that couldn't find community where they're at, getting a community.
Yes.
And being able to feel accepted.
Trust me, I had this conversation with my grandma 1,000 times.
I've had it with parents.
I had my door shut, and I would just play games with my friends. I was in a party of 6 people. Mm-hmm. And we did have, you know, real-life hangouts, too, but we played games.
It's what you did for fun.
It's what I did for fun.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, like, you got to get out of the house. I'm like...
I mean, yes, you should go out and do some exercising and stuff like that, but it's not like, again, it's that wasted time thing. He's not wasting time in there.
Like, we did go out and hang out. You know, we had pizza parties and whatever, and we hung out at drama after school and stuff like that. We did all that, but our main hangout were this.
Yeah.
The mic.
It's a way to get together. I mean, people used to do what's called popcorn on the phones. Same idea. It's like chat roulette.
Ah.
Popcorn was for other things, though. But
don't worry about it.
You could hook up a bunch of lines at party lines. Not popcorn, party lines. And you literally have conversations over the phone with a bunch of your friends. You couldn't go out after dark. This is what you did.
This is what you did.
We don't have a way to get into Bakersfield every day.
No.
This is what we do.
This is what we do.
This is how we reach you.
I can't get to Nevada to talk to my friend Connor.
Yeah.
I can't go all the way across the entire United States to go see Wills.
No.
I cannot.
Can't do that.
So, this is it.
So, Season 2 is wrapping up, and they said we've got to do something completely different. We've got to make the tournament different than it was. What can we do differently than the other tournaments that are going on in esports, which is electronic sports?
Yes.
They figured out that we would do this bracket thing, and everyone, even the people that were in the group, were like, I don't know if this is going to work, guys. Like, I get what you're saying. I get what you're going for, but
they're really trying to go for the LCS this time.
They were going, let's go week by week, putting up people against each other.
Yes. Actual teams this time.
Yeah, real teams, because now people are starting to get teams together. The fan base has grown enough, obviously, if we're in Europe now. So they're like, we can do this. Let's give this a shot. And everyone was like, this could either make us or break us right now. Yeah. This was a very crucial moment. And... they made them. It really did. It went great. People were watching that never wanted to watch sports. They were watching this because this was more relatable to them.
Yes.
And it was kind of like the guy was sitting there like, duh. Come on, guys. Duh. People like the game to play. Why wouldn't they like watching? And of course, Twitch is starting to hit at this point, too.
At this time, it was called Justin TV.
Hey, I was on Justin TV, bro.
I was, too.
But I didn't use it for gaming. I just sat there and I watched a thing called Skeet TV. Which was a guy who put on old horror movies and talk about them the whole time, and it was hilarious. I wish that guy would show up again sometime.
I used it to watch guys play the new zombie maps because I couldn't get them for 30 days because, you know, exclusivity deals.
So, yeah, it was really cool. It hits big. They had their whole championship series happen. They had a few hiccups.
Just a few.
Yeah, I mean...
At this point... I knew that this happened, but I didn't know what they did entirely. So at this time, they're playing their main final. This is the last match. This is the make it or break it match. Each team has won 2-2.
Yeah.
And you're just watching, and then a huge team fight breaks out. And I don't remember what team was about to win, but they're about to win. Boom. Internet shuts off.
Oh, that was actually in the That wasn't in the final.
Oh,
That
was
was
in the group.
groups.
The groups.
Yeah, it was the group from Ireland versus the Asian top group, the China top group. I can't remember their names, but they were playing and they were doing very neck and neck gameplay.
Yes.
And they were kind of, like you said, getting into a big fight, and then all of a sudden everyone just froze and attempting to reconnect it popped up.
And that sign has become
Scary. That's the red ring of death.
You do not want to see that. And so they restart the game.
Yeah.
It shuts down again. They
Now,
restart the game.
This is a point, in fact, when we gotta go. Most typical League of Legends games last 25 minutes to 45 minutes. Maybe an hour if it's a perfectly matched team.
Yes.
They played and restarted for 7 straight hours.
It was bad. And at a certain point, now they had people there paying tickets to go there.
This is
a live event.
They're on stage. People are watching them from basically a grandstand. They're just on the street. They're in between Staples Center and what the other big name there. They're on the street. They set up there.
Yeah.
And
it just crashed.
Death.
So one of the CEOs of Riot came out like, guys, thank you for being so patient for us. I hate to say this, but we're shutting down for the night. We cannot do it tonight. We're trying to fix the problem, but no one's here to fix it.
And he pointed out that he realized that they were paying guys. We realized you paid to be here. And this is what set Riot apart from every company out there at that time.
They gave a complete and utter refund of the tickets, even though they already watched most of the games being played. But also, they gave them $25 of Riot points for every person there.
At which point, the whole crowd just started going nuts.
And they had a merch shop that hadn't opened yet. They were going to open after everyone was done.
Yeah.
And they sold all of it for free. Basically,
just said, you can come in and pick one thing.
Yeah.
Every person there, full refund on their ticket. $25 in Riot points. Free merch. And because they were staying, they were going to hang out. They needed food. They bought pizza for everybody.
Yep.
It was a huge thing. And you know what the people of the gaming community did for them that were there? They started to shout their name out.
Yes.
Riot, Riot.
Riot, Riot, Riot.
That's right. And from that moment on, it was like the good gods of just beautiful, just love, just went, all yours, Riot. You're gonna have success.
At this point, Riot has, in general, from, I think this is 2012, 2013?
Somewhere, 2013, 2014.
Somewhere around those ages.
2012 to 2014, somewhere in there.
I think it's 2012 because I started late season 2.
Yeah, and it starts.
They've stayed at the good boy section of the internet. They've done some scummy things, and it's the company. They've done some scummy things, but it's not truly too scummy. They've stayed at that good boy line.
Well, the thing I liked about it most, too, is right after they did that for those guys, they come back, they have the game 3 days later, and inside...
They also got free tickets to that, too.
Yeah, and they got free tickets to come back. They went inside of a USC's, basically their auditorium for basketball, and set up there, finished out the system. Both those teams that were playing in that one didn't win anyways.
Yep.
Which, I mean, that sucks, but, because you spent 7 hours trying to win. And that ticket was worth $1 million, that season 2. And so season 3 comes around, and they just improved. They just started getting better. They did the groups again. They're inside of Staples Center at this point. I mean, that's a huge
My favorite part was when they first introduced groups. They're like, let me take you backstage here real quick to show you what we've done.
Yeah, they're like, we have our own servers at this point. We have backup servers. We have
backup power
generators in case the power was to go. He's like, we got it covered.
We got it covered.
And of course, at this point in time now too, they're looking into Korea, trying to break into that, and that's a huge moment too. We have a little bit of time. We'll kind of wrap this up. Real quick.
Boy, when Korea heard about League of Legends, free games were really common there at this time.
Yeah, that's a normal thing. They're like, it's a free to play game. Yeah, what else you got?
What else you got? So they were kind of scared. This is like not a make it or break it, but this is a. What do we
this
have?
is where games go to either die or to success.
Thrive.
Yeah, the top 10 in Korea. If you got in the top 10, like number 2 or 3 was like a 6-year-old game.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like new games just popped in there and they were in there. Usually it was like, if they popped in, it was like maybe 3 months and they're gone.
They also pop in like the low 7 to 10.
Yeah.
And then it would go down.
And so getting into the top 10 in Korea was a big deal. And so they said they're going to launch in Korea. And they did something that most Koreans don't do, is they had like a pre-launch, like interviews and stuff like that. They came out and they had this big show. And even one of the guys that like is the main gaming guy in Korea is like, It's very strange that they did that. It's not normal for Koreans to have that happen.
Yeah.
It was a nice gesture, but it wasn't needed.
It wasn't. And
there was already buzz.
Within the first month, they got into the top 6, which was like, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
They checked 3 months later, they're in the top 3.
Yeah.
They check 5 months later, bam, number 1 most popular game.
Within 100 days, actually.
Was it 100 days?
Within 100 days, they became number 1. So within 3 months, they were number 1.
Yeah.
And they stayed. That was the big thing, too. I mean, to hit number 1, not really ever been done like that.
Yeah.
And then to stay, they're still way up there, right? To stay that long, StarCraft died out. That was the big thing.
StarCraft died out and went to StarCraft 2.
Yeah, so I mean, for League of Legends to hit number 1, it hit all the gaming news.
Yes.
It was crazy. And so now Korea is a part of this genre. China is a part of this genre. UK is a part of this genre. America is a part of this genre. So basically, the whole world's starting to envelop in this game. So now we're at season 4. Season 3 was in LA. Where did season 4 go, you ask? Across seas.
Yeah.
They said we're going international. The first one was not in Korea. It was in...
I don't remember the area for the season 4 champion. Season 4 area. I really don't remember. But One star. I will say, this is when I really started really enjoying League of Legends more in the competitive scene, where me and my friends and their brothers and friends and all that stuff, we hosted a Denny's party. And we brought a computer in and a big, I think we brought in a 45-inch TV, and we streamed their stream from the back room of Denny's.
South Korea.
They
were in South Korea at that point. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah, so League of Legends Season 4 was in, and that's when it's blowing up.
It's blowing up.
It's becoming something all too crazy.
And now the prize was huge. Was even bigger. I don't remember the price. I think it was like $15 million.
Yeah, it was huge.
It was a big prize.
But you also got to realize that getting into the league championships at that point was like getting into the NFL almost.
It was. And
the South Korea Season 4 had more viewers than the World Series, the NHL Stanley Cups, and the NBA Finals together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
And at this point, Mr. Media comes into play.
Well, that people are now starting to have even more than just a community. Now it's huge.
It's a cult phenomenon.
Within 5 years, it's this phenomenon. Yeah, it's the best way to say it. It's becoming a part of people's everyday lives. At this point, I think it was like 52 million users daily. Something like that. It was a lot.
It wasn't that, because I know they're lower than that now.
Well, last I checked, it was 122 million.
It might have just
active users, not daily, but active users.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what I meant. Not daily users, active users. 52 million at that point. I mean, it was huge.
That's a huge population at that time.
Yeah, there was more. It was a 1% of the world at that point.
Yeah,
was playing this game.
That has played League of Legends on some
scale. Once or twice.
A day.
More than just downloaded it.
Yeah. And at this point, the media starts breaking onto it, like, oh yeah, they're reporting on it. What is this League of Legends?
It's the biggest phenomenon that you've never heard about. Was the title?
Yeah. And at this point, they start making fun of, well, what's an esport?
Yeah, that you guys remember that talk. What's esports? It's not sports.
Which I think we came to agree with that, but at the same time,
I did agree with it, but I heard a guy his name is Fox. He used to play for the Lakers. Yeah. He's won NBA Finals. He even said it's a sport. He goes, the main thing that you have for sports, and I agreed with it, sports have a fan base, people that watch, they have dedication, they have practice, and they have teams, usually.
Yes.
Those are kind of the main ideas behind sports. And he goes, and if you look at these League of Legends teams, they make a salary. Most League of Legends that are professionals like that make $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
He goes, they're professionals. They're making a salary. They have a fan base. This is as much a sport as anything else. This is as much a sport as golf is a sport, is what he said.
Yes.
I was like, I can agree with that.
And then I remember
14-hour days?
Yeah. I remember they're like, well, who would go and watch, them play a game? Like, we go and watch people play other sports.
Yeah, he's like, people that enjoy the sport that's being played will go and watch the sport.
And it's true.
I was like, that's a good point. It is so I don't know. We're not really going back to that discussion.
No.
But it was like, yeah, I can see what they're saying by that.
And we're going to kind of fast forward because we're 54 minutes in. At this point now in League of Legends, they have 22 million users daily. That play a game.
Yeah, somebody gets on and plays.
Million people. I played today.
I mean, it's nothing about their 10-year anniversary about being able to play and get something special. It's just
No.
I will say I've been getting more into League lately than I ever had before. Because there was a lot of people when they interviewed at first, they're like, when you first played the game, what'd you think? This isn't the game for me. And I was like, yeah, I was one of those guys.
I was one of those guys.
I didn't understand the game. I didn't really play it. Now I'm playing it. I kind of understand it a little more. The more I play other games that are like it, I understand it even more.
Yep.
And I enjoy it more.
Yes.
So, yeah.
MOBAs in general, multiplayer online battle arenas, are you gotta try it. You gotta spend some time in it. And the moment you do,
it is addicting.
Hooked.
Because it's not about it's like golf. When you look at golf, boring. When you play it the first time, it's difficult and unable to be understood. But the moment you have a good moment,
yep,
then it's that chase for finding that good moment and having it more often than not.
Yep.
And it's about mastering those same things that you're doing. So, yeah, I can understand why League is addicting. Because the first time you get like a double kill or a multi-kill, you feel
invigorated.
Very, very something special. I don't know, I'm drooling all over myself.
He's just thinking of all the pentakills.
I've never had one of those. I did have a multi-kill. I got godlike. That was cool.
I mean, Josh, it makes you feel better. I've only ever had 2.
Feels make me feel better. But again, I'm playing against nerfs. I'm playing the squishy ball.
I've only had 2 pentakills, which is killing every single member of their team.
Yeah.
I'm a support main, so it kind of makes sense why I have very little. I don't count when they have game modes that increase cooldowns or anything like that. I don't include those.
Yeah.
Just base game. Just Summoner's Rift, I've gotten 2. I've gotten many people pentas. I have hand-fed pentas. Mm-hmm. And I consider those not mine, but mine. You know what I mean?
Be yours.
Might as well. I'm like, yeah, I made this. So Webby's gotten multiple pentakills because I have...
Off of your sweat.
Off of my blood, sweat, and tears.
So, yeah. I forgot to mention, I wanted to mention it earlier. I'll mention it right now. They launched a store. And,
it's such a good story.
When they launched it, I think they were expecting like 1,000 people to kind of go through it.
Yeah.
And just kind of test it. Of the 1,000, one person was able to make a purchase.
He's like, guys, it's all good. I got my Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I got it. No worries, guys. And everyone else was like, can't buy, can't even get to the screen.
Yep.
And so they scrambled like crazy. They're like, we cannot launch a store and it not work. So they shut the store down. Opened up the game for people to play the game. They're like, we can't just have them playing the game. We need to make this ad revenue. We have made $0.
Yeah.
And, for 3 years, we've made $0. We need to start making money. Reworked the whole thing. They spent 114 hours in a room, is what he said. And they came out, and they're like, all right, launch it. And they launched it, and it was like crickets. For 2 to 3 minutes, nothing.
They're all
like, oh, man, it doesn't work. Oh, no.
Oh, and then, beauty has it, on that black screen, yellow text came up, $5. Woo!
Which, if you know League of Legends, means one skin.
One skin, baby.
And they're like, or one character. They're like, it worked. And then it was like just an avalanche. And of course, now if you look at what they're making now, it's ridiculous money. I mean, they gave away $1 million at their second. I don't even know what this year's prize is going to be.
It's something crazy. I mean,
they've been in Germany now. They've been in Japan, China. I don't know if they went to China. I don't remember. I mean, they went back to Staples Center at like season 5.
Season 5, like, guys, we're big boys now.
We're home.
We're home. And this league, that was my personal favorite. Their performances, their everything. Yeah, we did the Denny's thing again. We hung out at Denny's and we watched and we had everything happen. Oh, just seeing 20 like. At this point, I think I was like 15, 16.
Well, Staples Center at that time was renting out 40,000 seats.
Yeah.
Sold out, and they had overflow.
Yeah.
And they had guys like this at Denny's.
At Denny's, baby. Hey, I'll take the unlimited pancakes. I'm here all night, baby.
You mean the 2 stacks of pancakes and then ignore you until 5 a.m.
Ding, ding, ding. Denny's. Denny's. But it was just so cool seeing, at this point, I'm like 15, 16. My friends are 17. And then their older brothers, you get like 12, 13 young adults just nerding out on a game. Then there's 3 like 15, 16-year-olds just nerding out together, playing, watching someone.
Bringing the youth and the older youth together.
It was a beautiful time. Like, we were all like, did you see that? Did you see that? We were all talking like, League Lango like going at it.
Did you see the top lane on that one? The jungler came out of nowhere.
It was funny as crap because I remember this first one. The waitress got in trouble for this one. She came in, hey, can you guys be a bit quieter? We're like, oh yeah, that's no problem. And then the manager, did she just say that? She's like, you're running the room. You can be as loud as you want.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing because he had her come back in and apologize for it.
It's like, it's no big deal.
It's
like, no, it is a big deal. You rented the whole room out.
Yeah, we rented their whole back office room.
Yeah.
For
all night. 12 hours.
We were there from 9 o'clock in the afternoon, PM, 9 o'clock at night, till 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, my grandparents still don't know I went.
Thanks,
Dad.
Yeah, it was something, man. Of course, now you're looking at some huge. So that's kind of the past and what's going on presently. Now the future, and the reason why we left the last 4 minutes for future is because there's not much. They've only kind of came out with what they're planning on doing. They have a first-person shooter they're coming out with. That's Project A. You can go look at a demo.
Yep.
They have them on YouTube. You can see it.
Then they got Project L, which is a Street Fighter Soul Calibur-esque fighting game coming out. Yeah, it looked really good from the 3 seconds of gameplay we've seen.
Good thing about Riot is they don't show much.
No, they don't. They've announced that they're having a Diablo-esque game come out.
They have a mini-series coming out.
They have an animated series coming out.
They have a card game.
Which is like Hearthstone. They have Magic Gathering. You name it.
Similar.
Pokemon.
It's similar.
You keep on going.
It's character cards that fight each other. It's cool. I'm cool with it. I think it's great.
I'm excited for every single piece. Before they announce this, I still didn't have an urge to play League.
Yeah.
And as Webby says it, and I hate that he is right on this, you think you're gone. You think you're done with League, and then they come dragging you back.
They go, we've got new content.
I mean,
I don't want to go back. You're coming back.
All they gotta say to me is, hey, there's a new Thresh skin.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Woohoo!
So the future's looking great. Of course, the biggest deal about the future of this game, this company really, is how do you look at a game like League of Legends that has completely changed the face of online gaming, esports as a whole. I mean, obviously Overwatch tried to come in and do its thing, and it did pretty good. We've seen games come in and do the esports thing and have fallen off.
Even Fortnite tried to do it.
Nothing has been like League of Legends. Now, how do you go from that and go into something all new territory? Because you know that everyone out there is going to be looking at Riot Games going, okay, League of Legends is up here. You need to have your game same level or better. And that's a lot of pressure, so I don't blame them for not giving out much content to see, taking as long as they possibly want to make it, because the next game could sink.
Now,
it could sink hard.
Thankfully, Riot now has the pockets that they can sink a couple of games, and it's not...
Yeah, they could sink a couple games, but you don't want to.
You don't want
first
to.
game after that big game, you don't want it to be sinking.
From what I've heard from the card game, because they gave out early access for people that watch the 10 Anniversary stream, it was really good.
Well, TFT came out, right?
Oh.
And it's a really fun game in itself. It can get a little stale, but it is a good game. It was just a side note. It wasn't even a full new game.
They were trying out a new genre because someone made a Dota 2 mod that was called Auto Chess, and it became a big success. And then League's like,
it's not that
I can
hard.
fix that.
Yeah, it's not that hard. And honestly, that was the only reason I even got into League of Legends, because I started playing TFT.
Yep.
I think I saw you playing on Twitch one night. I was like, what is that all about? And William was like, well, it's this, and this. So I downloaded League of Legends just to play TFT. I played League of Legends on here. You guys can watch it in our past. You can see me look really, really ridiculous playing League of Legends. And I knew what League of Legends was, and I was like, I really don't want to play any of that. Let me just get to TFT. And wouldn't you know it, I'm playing TFT one night, and this guy over here is like, well, why don't you just play a couple matches with us on League and see what you like? And I was like, all right. I played a couple matches. I did okay. I did pretty bad for their level. In fact, I did horrible for their level. And then I was like, I don't know. And then Heroes of the Storm came around, and I was like, oh, I want to try. And Heroes of the Storm was easier and difficult at the same time.
It's easier because there's no items, but
You don't have to buy anything. It just
you don't
goes
need to
with
go
itself.
back. You just need to survive.
Yeah, and so because of that game, I'm now playing League of Legends.
That's how that's been for me, but the opposite started League.
Yeah.
And then basically I've tried every MOBA that's came out since.
Yeah. So the future for Riot Games is looking bright.
Looking brighter than ever.
But
Their hype level is right now through the roof.
that's the problem.
Can they follow up?
That, yeah,
I don't know.
That is the beauty and the problem of it.
The nice thing is I think they can, right? Generally, since, Season 2 has not failed us.
Yeah.
That's a good record. That's 7 years of... Actually, I think that's
Cremo.
8 years of just goodness.
Cremo.
So I think they can do it. Thankfully, they get to try their first test pretty soon with their card game. Hoping to come out full release pretty soon. Another free to play game.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. I expect almost all these games to be free to play.
They probably, and they'll do the same thing. Microtransactions in it that won't help you win the game.
No,
But they'll make money.
it works. Then
$800.
it works.
It works.
It just works.
It does work. So yeah, I mean, again, you can't blame them for it as long as they don't completely flop on this next couple of games. We're looking at probably the next Blizzard.
And that's going to be becoming a topic for us very soon.
Yeah, what's gonna happen with Blizzard?
Darn Riot and Blizzard War. They've taken the last 2 episodes and they're taking a third.
It's true.
There's
So
a lot of gamer drama right now. I'm excited. I love drama.
we do have to mention a few things before we leave. Number one, you got to go check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Podbean, Patreon. You can find us there in all those locations. Mostly social media places. They're just places to hang out. We're picking our contestant winner coming up probably next week. So you still have time to get in on that if you want to try to win some merch.
I think I asked before, can I join?
No, I'll get you something, bro. I'll get you some merch.
Who wins? Shay! Hey!
I'll get you some merch, brother. So yeah, you guys definitely want to go do that. Donate some money if you can. That would be cool because basically every merch thing that I want to give out right now is coming out of my pocket. That's kind of hurting myself. We have given out 1 box because you guys are not following like you should. There's rules and expectations. Just kidding. We have given out stickers and all kinds of stuff. We'll still do that. You want some stickers, hit us up. And that you can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or you can hit us up at Two Dudes Would Do.
Oh, yeah.
It's that one. It looks like this, I swear.
Yeah.
It's a can, bro. It's our old.
It's the old can.
Look at this. That is great. It's like eyes.
Just the floating.
It's like eyes.
I call it mini-me.
It looks like testicles.
Yeah.
Our heads look like testicles. Great. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
I was going to say that you can hit us up email-wise at lightlyfood@hotmail or at gmail.com. We will get back to you on those locations as well. That way we can get you hooked up. If you want a t-shirt, hit us up. We've got t-shirts. That actually is this symbol, which is really cool. It's a cool symbol.
Now we can kind of show it off because, by the time we got the shirts, I had the green screen.
Yeah, and then the shirts we actually have already went out. People are digging them, which is cool. That means we're about done. What I was gonna say though is, when you're playing online games, sometimes you can feel like eating some nachos or something. That's what you do, right? You bowling,
or sometimes you get heated in the crisps of battle.
That spice, that anger in life, or that spice of life, that can be really easily replicated by buying BernieBrand.com's hot sauce, which is Bernie Brand hot sauce, the Texas hot sauce. Yeah, it's really, really good stuff, guys. They also sponsor our episodes. We want to give them shout-outs when we can. But you can go to their website and get yourself some of that hot sauce because it's not in stores yet. But you can go to the website, use code 2DudesWould-Do. That's the number 2, followed by Dudes Would Do. No spaces, no caps. And you can get yourself 10% off on anything in their store. Hats, shirts, hot sauce, stickers if they have them.
Jackets.
Anything you want. If you think it's in their store, you put that code in, you're going to get 10% off. That's their promise for sponsoring us, and that's our gift to you guys. See, we give stuff back to you.
We try our best.
Other than that, we are part of also, not really a part of it. We are associated with the Podbelly Network. You guys can go to podbelly.com and see a lot of other really awesome podcasts if you guys are listening. And you're like, I've went through every one of your episodes. I'm caught up. The guy in Spain, whoever that is, you probably got a few more episodes to go before you're caught up. I'm not sure how fast you're listening, but I know you downloaded 65 in one day, so that's impressive.
That's a lot of bandwidth, brother.
If you're done with watching or listening to us, you can go and check out Sofa King Podcast. They're a fun one. They are explicit content, so you got to watch out where you're listening to it.
Ooh, naughty.
They do talk about serial killers and rapists and things of that nature. It's kind of true crime mixed in with a little bit of comedy. It's really quite fun. And then also on there is Breakers Podcast, which is a narrative style storyline that follows the life and times of Shepard Gray in a post-apocalyptical type of world. It's really
but
cool.
not apocalyptic.
It's different.
It's
I say post-apocalyptical
it is apocalypse.
because
It is apocalyptical.
basically the whole human race has died out.
Civilization, at least.
Yeah, and so it's really cool. It's the K1 virus is doing it. You definitely want to check that out if you're into that kind of stuff. That is a good 24 hours of content that will change your life forever and make you want to do things.
Like I know I binged through the entire first season within one workday.
Yeah, it was like you gotta this is binge worthy stuff.
Yeah.
It's good, but if you're listening one day, one episode a week kind of thing, it kills you on the inside. Because the only thing you're waiting for the whole time is the next episode.
Yep.
I want to know what happens. It's one of those.
You gotta wait
But
till
it does have an ending. Finally, the final phase was out, and it's justifying. I'll tell you. So if you guys want to go do that, you can definitely go listen to them. Those guys are all cool, and they give us a couple shout outs every now and again. So want to give them some love. I think that's it for me.
I think that might be it.
Check out Teledocs on Twitch.com if you want to see some of these gameplay. You can watch him play some League of Legends every now and again.
Yeah, I've been playing some
Slime
League.
Rancher.
That's my go-to game, man.
Yeah, and eventually he's going to be playing West of Loathing when he gets in the mood. It's one of those things. You have to be in the mood to play that game.
I look at it and I'm like, yeah. But every time I look at it, I almost want to play it. And I'm like, oh, it's 1 a.m.
You have to have a little bit of time dedicated to it. So
yeah.
But yeah, go check out Teledocs. Go if you have Twitch Prime Prime.
Nope.
If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. Make a Twitch account, link your accounts, and then you can subscribe to Teledocs and give him some monies without actually give him any money.
Make Twitch pay
and
it for you.
And of course, if you watch him, also he gets ad revenue.
No, I don't.
One of these days.
One of these days.
This will be relevant one of these days.
One of these days.
I'm saying this for the future. I know you're not affiliated yet. I'm just trying to get not affiliated. Partnered yet. When you get there, you do.
If I get partnered, I'm quitting my job.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I have a consistent 75 viewers.
Yeah, and you're probably going to move into a better area. For the internet. It's like, sorry, Grant. Gotta go.
I'm making money.
Josh, you still got that garage available? I'm going to run some wire.
Give me a minute.
Is that a drill here? Don't worry about it.
Problem solved.
4 2 dudes would do.
And everything else we do.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Shay.
How do you do?
I'm going to go play me some support.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to play some.
Ching!
Yanked. Ganked. Granked. Chained.
All the
Sex
above.
slaved.
Yes.
There we go. That's what it is. So, okay. Bye, guys.